Hello and welcome back to episode 9 of the Forestlake Morning Show. I'm your host, Tyler Cohen.
I'm Brendan.
And today we're going unscripted for you guys.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, crazy for us. We do sit here from week to week. We kind of plan things out, and we like to present you with a fair bit of information, just as it pertains to music.
Yeah, I think that's what listeners want. They want to get something out of the episode.
Well, I think it's what we want too, because we will be honest with you. We have shot a few episodes, maybe not a few, but one in particular that was not related to music in the slightest bit.
Yeah.
And it didn't turn out well.
It was pretty rough. Yeah. For the record, I went against it. We went ahead with it, and it wasn't great.
We had to get
That's
it
why
out.
you haven't seen it.
Yeah, it's why it's never going to be released, and it's why we decided it is okay for us to stick with music. Also because we know the most about music, even though we research some things.
Yeah. So we talking about music today?
Yeah, we might as well talk about some music.
Talk about some music.
Yeah. You know what's coming to mind, by the way? We'll talk about music. Do we talk about our music at all? Any updates? What's your current state with the band Forestlake coming out of Tampa, Florida?
Yeah.
Unknown artists, two dudes, best friends.
We can give a little sneak peek, possibly.
What? Just kind of, maybe not of sound, but
yeah.
What's Forestlake cooking up right now?
Man, nothing good. No, I'm kidding. So
nothing good.
We're currently working on our first album, right? Our first album as Forestlake. Like, we had done stuff separately, where I would produce it and it'd be out as like Tyler Cohen.
Yeah.
But we're here in Florida. We're piecing together a 6 to maybe 8 song album. We're keeping it short because albums are a pain in the butt, man. They're a lot of work.
They're a lot of work. They're a lot of money. Any of you unsigned artists know that. And also time, right?
A lot of time, yeah. And I think especially like for our first album, we want to get it right.
Right.
So we're focusing more on quality opposed to just getting it out there as quick as possible.
Yeah.
So, and that's where it becomes time consuming, energy consuming.
Yeah.
And
it's something that I feel like there are people who are just pushing songs out there, but it shows in their quality.
Right. Well, we also don't have an album out, so it's not like we're kind of on a time frame a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's
who's really watching anyway.
Exactly.
No, I'm just kidding. Shout out to all the people that are watching this and supporting us. Thank you so much.
Yeah. But I think we're going more instrumental with this one. If you heard anything from like his previous stuff, it was like a lot more pop production-y.
Yeah, instrumental, just to clarify, not instrumental songs, instrumental
like
production.
With instruments, like, actually live recording and actually like amping things and reamping things and
being able to write a good song with the only 4 instruments you need: vocals, bass, guitar, and drums.
Yep, some piano in there too.
That's our sound, right? That's what we know best.
Yeah.
Not that otherwise it can't be done with production like a lot of people do, but
yeah, I'm excited for it. I think we have like 4 songs that are kind of done. They're in a good spot, and then we have a whole bunch of other ideas. Whether they'll make it or not,
yes, and who knows what is yet to still be written. I will say the 6 to 8 album length idea. Like, I want to start a trend of setting albums as being 6 to 8 songs and no more.
Yeah,
and that's what
it's ridiculous when you see an artist that has like 16 songs. That's crazy. 13
songs, whatever, and it's like there's two things about it. They have like 16 songs and it's an hour and a half. Like, I think Beyonce's new album just dropped and it's incredibly long.
Is it?
Yeah, but then I saw this other artist, Sylvan Esso, is a band that I listen to on the side, and they dropped a 10, 12 song album and it's 35 minutes. So you're thinking like, okay, so every song's like 2 minutes.
What's the thing too? Like, a lot of pop songs nowadays are short. So you might have like 16 songs, but I think we talked about this before. Where
we did talk about this before.
The whole album length will only be like 30 minutes or something.
But realistically, I think with attention spans, or maybe just in general, I just think a 6 to 8 song album is what 6 to 8 songs is what an album should be. Speaking
of attention spans, we don't care about that for this album.
Oh no, we don't.
we have a few long songs. I think the first one we ever wrote, we just kind of finalized it, and it's It's about 5 minutes.
Yeah,
Which is that's pretty long for like a pop song or a pop rock song nowadays.
Yeah, 5 minutes is long, but it's rocking.
Yeah.
And then we're putting a lot into the quality of it. So
Yeah,
hopefully
and that goes back to the thing, like, we are focusing on quality. We're focusing on the song, putting out what we want, opposed to what the listener would want per se.
we're making music that makes us happy.
Yeah.
Which is what everyone should be doing all the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm excited
That's
for
the
it,
goal.
man.
I'm excited.
I'm
for it
excited
too.
to get it into the mixing stage. I think that'll be a big tell.
It'll be very cool.
Daniela,
Daniela Rivera.
we're ready for you.
Yeah. Shout out again to our mix engineer Daniela Rivera.
Yeah.
She's based
She's
out of
really
Atlanta.
good.
She's super talented. Supports the hell out of us,
Yeah.
and we support her right
Yeah,
back.
if
So,
you're watching, thank you.
yeah, super cool stuff going on with that. But this is unrelated to what's going on with us. But I was reading the other day, as of recently, just because she's a big artist, Taylor Swift was sued for Shake It Off. Did you know that?
For what?
Her song Shake It Off, they filed a lawsuit against her in 2017.
Because what, she copied it from somewhere?
There was a song that came out in 2001 called Players Gonna Hate or something by 3LW.
Did it sound like it?
Never heard of it. I don't know. I haven't listened to it.
Oh.
But this is why I'm bringing this up, because just the other day she came back with a new statement in court about, I never heard of it. Like whether or not she did or did not hear of it, she states that she did not hear the song ever.
There's a lot of songs like that, though, where I feel like at a certain point, music repeats itself a lot. It just kind of comes in phases. And like the melodies are all taken. The chord progressions are all taken.
Are they?
I feel like, yeah.
Well, there are only 8.
There's so many songs out there.
8 notes that you have. 7
Yeah.
if you're not including the octave, but
Yeah, it's
wait. Am I an idiot? No. I'm just yeah. All right, we're good. For a second I was like, wait, 8 notes. I was doing the math in my head, thinking of a keyboard. I was like, what one? For a second I thought I was being dumb.
You good? Good over there?
I'm good. Okay. Yeah. We're good. All right, don't worry about me. I'm just struggling over here on the struggle bus.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what were you saying after I interrupted you? The melodies are taken, lyrics are taken?
Oh, yeah, they're all taken.
Lyrics
But
aren't taken.
there's like a lot. I don't know if they get to like the lawsuit stage, but there's a lot of songs that like people will go, oh, it's actually, this song was written in like 1970.
Yeah.
And the melody's identical.
Well, and that's why you see sometimes when it is taken to court, sometimes the person wins and they don't, whether it was actually deemed a lawsuit appropriate or not, or copyright infringement is what they say. It's copyright infringement. I don't know
Is that what it is?
I don't know what the term is. I'll tell you what though, I'll fucking take a lawsuit against Forestlake. Let us put out a song and get somebody to sue us for it.
I think I'm all right.
If it's
I'll pass on that.
You really?
I'm not trying to get sued.
It's notoriety. Infamy.
I feel like you only get the attention if you're big, though.
That's true, probably. Yeah.
For it's like we're just gonna get sued for
Just
everything.
sued for
We're no longer gonna have any of this.
Any of this is all taken away from us. What are those
What are
people
you
called?
trying to copy?
What are those people called that come and take your shit? Repo men.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think this stuff can be repossessed. It could. The bank could take this, right?
Probably. They can take anything.
Well, they don't. We don't own it collectively. We share it collectively. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Point of the story is, I jokingly would take a lawsuit because I'm thinking, oh yeah, cool. We read a song and the next thing you know, freaking Justin Bieber suing us for it, and then we're like, oh, who are these? Everyone's like, Forestlake. Who's Forestlake? Let's go
Yeah.
listen to him. I wonder if you have to see an increase in sales for the band that sues a big artist, right? Like people that Ed Sheeran got sued for copywriting something. Coldplay got sued for copywriting. Viva La Vida was taken. They what's his name? The guitar player. Not
For
Santana.
Coldplay?
Viva La Vida was. They had to go to court for that because
Really?
the riff was taken from. I don't want to say Santana. It was some really well-known artist. I forget. But the point of the story is like, the artist that does the suing or files the lawsuit saying you stole this from us, there's got to be an increase in sales because people are going to listen to that song if they follow the other artist. So like Taylor Swift, right? She's getting sued for this song "Shake It Off," and I think they meet again in September. the other band's probably going to get a little bit of a bump from people going to see
if it's similar. Yeah.
So not.
I guess so. Yeah.
So should we just file a lawsuit against somebody? I mean, not that somebody
for
has
songs that they already wrote and we're still writing.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Yeah, it does not make sense at all. No,
Yeah.
that's a terrible way to go about trying to become a known artist. Don't do shitty things. Don't be an asshole. Right? It's like with. I'm sorry to just keep rambling here, but now that we're talking about, well, you ever meet somebody in the music industry that's like famous, and you're like, wow, this person's not what I thought they were.
Their dick, yeah.
Has that happened to you?
Yeah.
With who?
What's his name from Skid Row? That guy wasn't the nicest.
What's Skid Row?
I didn't
like
think.
Isn't that a place?
No, yeah, so it is, but the band Skid Row.
Okay.
It's like a big 80s hair metal band.
Are they from the place Skid Row?
I don't know.
That'd be cool.
It's a question for him.
I don't even know what Skid Row is. Sounds bad.
Isn't the Skid Row, isn't that like a
Prison?
bad part of the city? Like the Skid Row, like the slums.
Oh, it's applicable to any place?
I think so.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. Right?
So you meet the guitar player from Skid Row.
Yeah, we played with, I think you met him too, possibly.
At School of Rock?
Yeah.
Just give the backstory real quick.
Yeah, so I don't know if I want to get too deep into this now. We were just saying, oh, he's a terrible person.
He's the only fan watching this show right now. He's like, those mother dislike report.
I will say, like, a lot of other celebrities too.
Yeah.
I feel like
This is a known thing.
Like, but
people,
I think it could kind of boil down to like they don't have a lot of time, and everyone wants to meet with them and get their autograph and get a picture with them. And I think for them, like, imagine that's you and you're just eating dinner or something,
somebody
and everyone's coming up to you asking for a picture when you're sitting there with your kids eating dinner, like fork in hand,
trying to be a human being.
Yeah, like,
so you're saying
it would get annoying.
The reputation exists because of small moments that don't reflect who the person actually is.
Right. Yeah. Like, I feel like they're all good people in a sense, but it's like once you get that level of fame, you kind of have to become a little selfish of your time.
I was gonna say, do you not think that some of these people are just generally assholes or pretentious, or because of their fame they think they're better than somebody else?
I don't know. Have you met anyone?
So, yes. Well, finish your story on Skid Row. You met the guy, and he was not.
Oof.
He was just a bad dude.
He was okay, but he was a little short, I thought.
Not physically short. You're talking about
not
he was short,
yeah.
verbally.
Yeah. Which is okay. I feel like that's kind of expected.
Okay.
Of a rock star.
Was the circumstance like you were explaining? Like this, was it in a setting where it would make sense for him to not be like that?
That's it was just a bunch of little kids with guitars in their hands, like, "Hey, let's play."
Okay, so he was annoyed. Yeah, maybe
Possibly.
that was why.
Yeah,
we've all seen how crazy kids are. Imagine being surrounded by 10 of them with guitars, just noodling and messing around.
Well, I think he was in town for bootleg guitars, right? I think John Hill Guitars.
Mm-hmm.
Out of Cleveland.
Yeah.
But shout out to him. Makes really good guitars. Hill Guitars out of Cleveland. I have one over there. But so this guitar player was playing John Hill's guitars.
Yeah.
And so that's why he was in Cleveland. And then I don't know how did he walk into the school? I don't know.
I don't think we were
kids.
For this. Was this in Highland Heights?
No, it was West Side.
Oh, I still don't think I was there for it. I didn't play guitar. Why would I have
It was
been
the whole
there?
band.
For Headliners?
Yeah.
Was I in Headliners then?
I don't know.
I think you were in before me, so I don't know. Mm. So he just wasn't cool. Is he the only person? Have you met anybody else?
So, like, Steve Vai was so nice. Steve Vai was like the nicest guy I've ever met.
And you met Steve Vai where?
Yeah.
Where'd you guys
at a show in Columbus.
like VIP?
Yeah, like before the show, go meet and greet, which he signed my Hill guitar.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, but like so nice.
Yeah.
And that dude's incredible. He's crazy. You watch a Steve Vai show, and like as a guitar player, like everyone's just watching like his fingers. Like you can see everyone in the crowd, like they're all guitar players, just watching like what he's doing.
Yeah.
And then like you go home after that show and try to pick up a guitar because you're feeling inspired from seeing him, and you just can't play at all, like compared to him.
Like,
it's like Joe Bonamassa. You go see him, and you're like, wow,
geez.
I suck.
That's like me watching videos of these these children who are playing covers of songs on YouTube. They're like 9 years old, 10 years old, 13
And they're
years
so
old.
good.
And they're
prodigies.
so good. They're prodigies. They're like the Beethovens of our society. When really I think they're just practicing, or maybe they have an innate talent. But that's what that reminds me of. You know, like I'll come across these videos. I'm like, how the is this girl playing bass? Like she's been playing bass for 50 years and she's only 9 years old. It's really impressive stuff.
Yeah.
So Steve Vai's cool. And,
Steve Vai's great.
But not the guy from, but those two are your first two experiences.
Yeah, that I can remember.
Yeah. I personally only met a guy by the name of Modest Yahoo, who is like my god.
Is he cool? Is he nice?
I met him 3 times. I think the first time it was unfortunate. I met him at the House of Blues in Cleveland. I was the last person in the VIP line with my sister, and I was so nervous because I looked up to this man, and still do. Like he was so influential on me in my teen years, which are those years you're finding yourself and whatever. And when I started writing songs, I was emulating him, like just purely copying his flow, verse.
So you were just trying to get sued from a young age?
Well, I was trying to
Glad we're forming a band here.
It was that stage of me trying to find out who I was, and he was a pivotal part of that. But I met him. It was crazy because I'm like, wow, this dude's not a dude on YouTube, because I've only knew of him like watching videos on YouTube and the internet. So when I see him, it's like, oh my God, this is my idol. He's a real person. So I'm at the end of the line with my sister. We get to meet him. And I immediately just hand him 3 CDs to sign. So I think he was getting ready to, go start the show soon. So the experience wasn't too great, but he was still very nice. Now, like fast forward a year later, I met him after a show. He was under the influence of marijuana. So he was just super chill, almost too chill. But he was such a nice guy still. But it kind of ruined my thought of him. Especially that show, because I think he was under the influence in that show, and it just wasn't a good show, and I was disappointed that I paid for that, and that my idol kind of dropped the ball, because I had this expectation of what the show was originally when I saw him for the first time. It was incredible, and then I think I met him a third time. He was cool. So that's my only real experience with somebody who's like famous. That yes and no. But I do know, for the most part, there are people that say they've met their person, and they've met idol of theirs that is a rock star or a famous artist, and they just weren't what they expected.
Do you remember we were doing Lollapalooza, and like kind of in the back area, we passed by the singer for Jane's Addiction. The dude was just coked out.
Was he? I can't remember seeing that specifically.
Yeah.
Coked out of his mind, you could tell?
Yeah.
Did you talk to him?
I think
Or
like
like
we as like a group, we talked to him for like 2 seconds, but yeah. You kind of like you were saying with Modest Yahoo, like you're kind of disappointed in a sense.
Yeah. Like, because you only know them in certain ways. Like, they are human beings, right? Like, they're going to have good moments and bad moments just as much as we do. Yeah. So when if you experience it, especially in the times where you're saying like, okay, they are short for time, they may have to be rude or get cut off with an experience with you, because there's too many people that can't devote a quality experience to everybody. And it's not a personal thing,
Yeah. But, definitely not.
I do fear, I don't want to say I fear it, but I feel like people that have blown up that were previously unknown, right? They weren't born into stardom like the Kardashians or something. Take, for example, there's a guy who I really like called Logic.
Yeah, you're a big Logic guy.
Bobby Hall. He's the kind of dude that if you
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Bobby Hall?
Yeah. If you go up to him and you say, "Hey, Logic, what's up?" and you're just like on the side of the street, he'll say, "Hey, you can just call me Bobby." Like, introduce, shake your hand. "Hi, nice to meet you." He has a genuine appreciation for his fans. Now, I can't speak on this behalf of me knowing every experience that has happened. I'm sure some people have had short encounters or whatever the case, but he really has an appreciation for his fans, because you need to. Your fans give you everything that you have if you've gotten to that point. Right. They pay your bills. Yep. You know what I'm saying? I mean, of course, maybe the record label does, but that money's coming from your fans.
You know what I thought was pretty cool? We saw Coldplay recently.
We did.
And I don't mean to talk about Coldplay like every episode.
No, we'll talk about him every episode if we need to.
But Chris Martin is just so nice to the fans. And he's like very casual. Like he'll just have a casual conversation with the crowd. And so like grateful and like as like someone in the audience, you want to hear that. Like you love to hear that.
Yeah.
And it's cool. Like you admire this band and then you go to the show and it's like it's what you expected.
He does reflect, I feel like, who he is outside of the stage. Like as a genuine proper British man. Right?
Yeah.
Like he's a very cool dude. I think still he's had good moments and bad moments because he's been in the game for 20 plus years.
Right.
And there's footage of it. I know there's one that floats of him like fighting a camera dude when Gwyneth Paltrow was pregnant and he wanted privacy. Like getting to the car. So there was this aggressive exchange, and you're going to take flack like that as like as any celebrity does. You see a lot of movie stars deal with that, like trying to drive their car through paparazzi. Like it's got to be hard. I'm not saying it's easy. I have no idea what it's like, but at the same time, appreciate that a lot of these people, they're doing their jobs to make money. They have to feed their family. Justin Bieber's another experience. There's a lot of videos of Justin Bieber where he has good and bad experiences with paparazzi, but a lot of them are really good. He's like,
I've seen a lot of bad.
What's that?
I've seen a lot of bad.
I've seen a lot of bad too, but well, he's a whole
I feel
other
like also
conversation.
you're only going to see the bad ones. Like they're only going to post
You really
the bad
are,
encounters.
Because why? Because they're engaging. Yeah, people like seeing the bad things. But the ones that are good is really like cool to see. Where he's like, hey man, I know you got a job. Like I know you got stuff to do. Take your pictures. I'll help you get what you need. But then just chill and give me some space. There are moments where you see stuff like that and you're like, wow, it's cool. Yeah. You got to appreciate that people have jobs to do. I think sometimes maybe there's good and bad in every situation.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I would agree with that.
But yeah, I don't know. For me, I know us as a band, I feel like we don't have the fan base that we want to obtain right now, or that we more or less are setting goals to attain. So when we do achieve that, there's no reason to ever let a fan have a bad experience.
No,
At least
definitely not.
In my idea.
Yeah.
Right. Not saying we wouldn't make mistakes or come under scrutiny, because everything you do is going to be under scrutiny if you're on a big platform.
I feel like that's something you kind of learn too with just experience of.
It's part of growing,
through
dude. We're still young. Even you and me, 25 respectively each.
Oof.
We're young.
Quarter of the way there,
Still
man.
figuring things out.
Yeah.
And even when you get to that point and you have to experiment or try new things and do crazy stuff to get known. I don't know. I mean, we're not going to be doing crazy shit to get known.
Well, hey, we got to put out this album first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which we need an album name too. We need an
do.
album name. If you guys have any ideas,
I was just
drop a comment. Drop a comment.
I was actually going to say, do not recommend that the fans say our album name.
Why not?
Okay, if you want to be creative.
It's like the whole TikTok open verse challenge, you know, where you just open it up and let someone do it, and oftentimes they come back with like a better verse.
Yeah.
Come back with a better title.
But they don't. There's no meaning for the fans if they haven't heard the songs.
How cool would that be if going back to Coldplay, if they opened up the floor for their next album, and you were the one
contest
who gave that album name and they went with it?
I mean, it would be pretty sweet.
That'd be awesome.
But then
right?
what? Now they need money from that? Like, is it a one-time fee? Do they take?
Oh, I don't know.
Do they take it'd probably just be a service fee for that. I know some artists have done that.
Be.
They've opened up like album artwork to contest. Modest Yahoo did that. He allowed he did a contest for his album called Akeda.
And he went with it?
In 2015. A fan drew this thing, and he basically said he opened up a contest for people to submit artwork, and he would pick what he felt resembled the album the best. And he gave the person like a prompt of like, hey, this is what this album means to me and what it's about. So
it's kind of a cool idea.
Draw off of that, yeah. And I'm sure they got paid for it, and it turned out cool. I mean, I personally didn't like it, but I like the album. I just didn't like the artwork. But if you want to do that, sure, go ahead. Drop a comment below or reach out to us with any cool names that you have or artwork. Since Brendan's on the board with that, I particularly I'm just trying to write the songs right now with the focus.
Priorities.
Yeah, priorities and that. Album names and that stuff, that could be a whole nother, that could be an episode. Yo, what's that thing we said the other day where when we're editing, we say, what We'll talk about it on the podcast.
What?
You know how we always say that? We start talking about something, we're like, oh no, we'll stop. We got to stop. We'll talk about it on the podcast.
Oh, when yeah.
Like we'll have an idea.
So if it pertains to like a topic that we're thinking about doing,
yeah,
and we're just like mid casual conversation, and like you start saying something that I don't know, I'll be like, no, save it.
Yeah.
Don't, because I want like your initial reactions.
it is funny because you'll start saying a sentence and then you'll stop and say, we'll talk about it on the podcast.
Yeah.
It's like just immediately.
It's just
stop
like
in the
awkward
tracks.
silence. Then
Yeah, you're like, okay, whatever. And a lot of what we talk on the podcast is from those situations where
Yep.
we talk about it on the podcast for the raw reaction.
Yeah. Yep. We're almost at time.
Does that do that for you? This episode's wrapping up.
It's unscripted. So I mean, we can go for
Brennan's
another
done
couple
for them
hours.
now. He's got nothing left in the script. Script is finished.
My board's empty.
The board is empty. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us on. This is episode
Oh, that was good.
9.
Episode 9.
Is that what I said in the beginning of the episode? I don't want it to be episode 10, and I just got it wrong.
Yeah, it's episode 9.
This has been episode 9 of the Forestlake Morning Show. Thank you all for joining us, listening, watching, doing whatever you're doing to get this content.
Yep.
We appreciate you greatly. And I will say, if you have any questions, whoever's watching this, ask us. Whether it's mixing, production,
reach out.
songwriting, our thoughts and opinions, whether not that you really care about it, but reach out to us. We'll
or topics for future episodes.
Yeah, if you want to hear us talk about something, we're very easy to get a hold of, and would love to have your thoughts and things. So
yeah,
please do. Until the next episode, take care, be safe. We are Forestlake.
See you next week.
Peace out. See you next week.